reports of injury or damage along with them either. But the storms continue to look pretty bad, and I've seen a lot of storm lines come through Arkansas, and when you see one that looks like this, you got to take it a little more seriously. And when the atmosphere is just like this, you have to take it more seriously too. Hopefully in another 3 to 4 hours, the threat will be completely gone from our state. But for right now, it is not. A tornado watch remains in effect for the western half of Arkansas, and I believe that runs until 10 o'clock tonight.
And will probably be extended to the eastern parts of the state.
Yeah, I would especially east central and northeast Arkansas, right. I would think will be extended into this tornado watch area. For right now, though, we're going to continue just to kind of monitor the radar. We're sorry about the interruption to programming again, but really when this happens, this has to take priority, and we're going to place lives over the newscast. And so let's just go ahead and take a look at our 5 live Doppler radars as we head into Pike County. Again, the Kirby area. It's right on top of you there, into Glenwood too. And these are continuing to showing signs of low-level rotation.
I believe that Clark County is now under a tornado. Northwestern Clark County tornado warning until 5:45.
Okay, this is the exact storm that I'm on right now, and this is northwestern Clark County right there. And it's because the storm is moving in an area, and I'll just I'll kind of center up the storm here just a little bit, and I want to go out in advance of it. So from Kirby on out to the northeast, going at 45 miles an hour.
They've increased 55. In forward speed to 55 miles per hour, which is just another indication there is not much time to react to these storms.
Glenwood, Amity, Welsh, Bonnerdale, Piercy, these are storms going across areas that may or may not have already been affected by other storms. And then Crystal Springs, which is up on Highway 270 at 527.
And if we can go on over to our Viper tornado tracking system, this does not look like the traditional radar that you're used to seeing, but I like to use it to pinpoint exactly where the worst area of the storm is, and it's right in this yellow area. And that's where we have the possible rotation as well. And this white is the hail. Kirby, Glenwood, Amity moving into, like Barry was telling you, into extreme northern parts of Clark County. If you live in this area north of Arkadelphia, now's the time to take those tornado precautions that we've been warning you about. And that means if you live in a mobile home in this area, in northwestern Clark County, abandon that right now and head for a more sturdy structure.
Yeah, unless the storm is right on top of you. If you have friends or family that is within a reasonable distance and you can get to a framed house, house with a traditional foundation, you probably need to do that as well. Southwestern Garland County on our 5 live Doppler radars. Now, Todd showed you that storm there, but let's go to Garland County. And this storm that is approaching, let me just zoom right in on the area that is most likely being affected. Crystal Springs right now. The Wall Tree community in Yell County, power lines and trees have been affected and downed. Confirmed, it says confirmed, but it's confirmed that there are power lines and trees down. We aren't sure if it's a confirmed tornado, but Fish Valley has the same on this. Crystal Springs, this is an area that is in Garland County, and that is where the rotation area looks to be. And as we head on up the line, let's look into extreme western Perry County and Yell County. I haven't seen this storm in just a little while. It continues to look almost identical to what it's looked like for an hour or an hour and 15 minutes, if not more likely, producing a tornado right now between Onyx and Hollis. Let me get some of the information on this storm.
And Perry County is not under a tornado warning right now, but judging by that radar imagery, Barry, western areas of Perry County take cover.
Absolutely. If you're right on the Perry-Yell County line, don't wait for a warning to be issued for this storm. It's a dangerous storm. It continues to move right along, right up the Perry-Yell County line. And I'll back out just a little bit and show you what we're talking about. Right, eventually on up to Berta, which is on Highway 10 there between Casa and Ola. And this storm is just wrapping drier air into it. You can see right there, it wraps that in and then wraps the rainfall, the heaviest of the rainfall, right into it. And if we look at the wind field, I'll bet you it shows red and green coming together right there, and it does. Yep. That's exactly where the wind fields are coming together. And it will be moving right up that line right there. That is the Yell Perry County line. So if you're in extreme western Perry County, you need to take cover with this storm too. Let's go on down into western Arkansas, southwestern Arkansas. Another storm coming out of Howard County near Center Point, showing lines of signs of low-level rotation. And then the storm that is in right on where all these counties come together, Conway, Van Buren, and Pope County, where they all come together near Appleton, there's a sign of rotation with that storm too. And let me just, and there's the rotation. Maybe not quite as pronounced as it was, but it's certainly bad. And west of Scotland too, we're seeing a little bit of a sign of rotation. So it may be, one area of the storm may be diminishing as another area of the storm starts to blow up just a little bit. And that's what you have to look for. You don't take for granted just where we're showing is all that there is out there, because all of these storms can rotate.
And the other thing that I also want to mention here as well, we've been tracking these storms, and even though they have been moving slowly from west to east, in Saline County, Pulaski County, the greater Little Rock area, now's the time maybe to start thinking about where you would go if a tornado is heading in our direction here in central Arkansas, because very eventually this line is going to make its way into central Arkansas, and it continues to maintain that identity of being individual supercells. So this is, again, going to start to push into eventually. It's already tornado warning for Garland County. You can see that that rotation there west of Hot Springs moving to the northeast, and it appears that these storms are picking up forward momentum, moving to the northeast now at 55 miles per hour, at least that tornado there in Clark and Pike County, that tornado warning there. But you can see there's that rotation. Mountain Pine, Royal, and the Crystal Springs take those tornado precautions, but here in central Arkansas, if you're watching us right now, now's the time to think, hey, where would I go if there's a tornado heading towards my community? This is the perfect opportunity to kind of look around, and that's the safest place is in the interior, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside, and try not to go out and look at this if there's a tornado warning, because these things could be rain wrapped. You would not see these until it's right on you.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Moving very close to the dam there on Lake Washita. At Spillway Landing. Let me go ahead and redo that just a second. It's moving very, very quickly at near 50 miles an hour. Jessieville, 532, that's on up to the north of Hot Springs Village there, but it would be somewhere possibly near that area in less than 30 minutes time. Just backing out here, and again, I'm in the mode here that shows wind inside the storm, but just backing out and looking, I'm just looking at some of the cities that I see that will be affected down the line. Clinton in Van Buren County, Morrilton, Perry, eventually Benton and Little Rock, Hot Springs as these storms come up from the southwest, Malvern, and on down to Arkadelphia as these storms fire out of the southwestern part of the state. So we're looking a little farther down the road there. But the storms are very strong, and as Todd said, they're moving very quickly, and they are ones that could be rain-wrapped and very hard to see with the naked eye. Ashdown, another storm coming into that area out of Texas now.
Well, Little River County
with
now
rotation.
under a severe thunderstorm warning. They've decided to go with a severe thunderstorm warning with that in Little River County until 5:45. This storm has the capability of producing golf ball size hail and winds in excess of about 60 miles per hour. The storm is located 11 miles southwest of Ashdown, as Barry was just showing you, or about 9 miles southeast of Foreman, and is moving northeast again, this one at 55 miles per hour. And you see that shear marker right there. This has the possibility of producing a tornado as well, even though it's just a severe thunderstorm warning. Tornadoes can rapidly occur, can form very quickly. Ashdown at 5:12, Wilton at 5:15, Brownstown at 5:24, and Callingville at about 5:25, by the way. And there is that possibility you see on that southwest side of the storm that there could be some sort of rotation in there. So just stay indoors and away from windows and just wait this one out. We continue to look at that one storm. We'll go to the one up there straddling Yell County and Perry County.
Oh, okay.
Well, we look at that one as well. That one out, there's nothing going on right now in Van Buren County, no warnings, but you do have a very strong thunderstorm that this one does have the possibility and has a history of producing a tornado. Amateur radio operators, this storm here spotted one when it was over Dardanelle, I believe, and we have a new...
This is the same storm that went near Pottsville, and the sheriff says they're working on a report of a tornado touchdown between Pottsville and Crow Mountain, and that's near Atkins. No injuries reported, but trees are reported down with the storm as it went earlier through the Pottsville and Atkins area, and now it's right up the line and moving into southwestern Van Buren County, still showing some sign of low-level rotation.
No warning there yet, but I would take cover if I were you. You don't need an official warning to do that. Saline County, this one will be heading your way soon. That one is a tornado warning that is in effect for Garland County and is moving up towards the northeast. And it's not as impressive as it was area, but
no, it is not.
There's still signs of rotation in this storm. It's kind of over an unpopulated area, moving into an unpopulated area, but as these things get closer to central Arkansas, I don't have to tell you that the population density increases, so the situation is just going to get worse if they maintain their identity as they are right now. Just north of Crystal Springs, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. Also,
this was the most impressive one, I think, Todd.
It is, and it's right on the Perry and Yell County line. If you're watching us from, we've got a new warning coming down here. We'll get that in just a second, but hear the printer going off. In Berta, right up the county line, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. The possible tornado will be at Nimrod at about 5:18, Berta 5:19, Wilson 5:49, Atkins at about 5:51 p.m. So
I'll be moving up toward the Highway 10 corridor there very soon. Right now, and Casa and on up to near Atkins. But for right now, it's just straddling the line, Perry and Yell County, and it's moving at a very, very rapid pace. Severe thunderstorm north now for Montgomery County until 5:30, and that is for a storm. Indicated a possible severe thunderstorm with a possible tornado 7 miles southeast of Caddo Gap. And so, even though officially it is a severe thunderstorm warning, I would say, folks, go ahead and take cover with this storm. This is it's a dangerous storm. This is the one that we're looking at moving out of Kirby and Glenwood on up toward Piercy there, and Welsh, Amity, which is in northwestern Clark County, and extreme western Hot Spring County like Bonnerdale, west of Bismarck there. This is where this storm is moving. And so I'm going to back out and I'm going to do a storm track on this storm. And again, these are areas that have already been hit by heavy, heavy rainfall and the possibility of some damage. As they move off to the northeast, it'll be headed straight for Piercy, Bonnerdale, Point Cedar, Hempwallace, Pettyview, and then Bear on up into Garland County a little bit later on. And so warnings are coming out, and whether or not these are severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings, all of these storms have the potential to rotate. And so I'm going to say be safer than sorry, and look at all of these storms as potential tornado producers.
The winds just above our heads, I was looking at some data earlier today, Barry, indicating that there are extremely strong winds above our heads. So even if these are just severe thunderstorms, some of that air can get forced down and cause just as much damage as a weak tornado. So even though we're talking about these possible tornadoes, these storms are producing damaging winds. I have little doubt about that, just the severe thunderstorm winds and hail. So even though you're not under tornado warning, or if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, just take cover, go inside, stay inside and away from windows. The entire western half of the state continues under that tornado watch, and northeastern areas and east central areas probably will be extended in that area as well later on.
Oh, I would think so. I would think so, because the atmosphere is still very unstable, and these have had such a history of being rotating thunderstorms that it's not just the western half of the state that we're talking about. But if we take an overview, you can see obviously there on the Yelp Perry County line a very strong storm. If we just back out just a little bit, you can see that later on down the line, and especially I think central, eastern, and northeastern Arkansas will have a tornado watch that will be placed into effect. The Storm Prediction Center rarely puts out a moderate or even a high risk of severe weather. Today it was a moderate risk, but they put out a special weather statement that said that all of these storms have a tremendous potential for tornado production if they do develop, and they have developed. And so that's it's a rare day that we see all the ingredients come together quite this perfectly, but this is one of those days.
We now have a report of a roof blown off of a chicken house in Pike County near Kirby. That's being reported by law enforcement. Also, 1 3/4 size hail near Nathan in Pike County. That was just reported by law enforcement as well.
And that occurred at about 4:30, about 45 minutes ago there.
Right.
And guess what, Kirby? You just had another storm go through there. It is now very near Glenwood, and you have another storm approaching. It doesn't look as strong. The most likely area that, if this storm is producing a tornado, and we don't absolutely know that, it would be Glenwood, between Glenwood and Piercy, and that is on Highway 70 as it comes out of Hot Springs. And that's one of the areas that we're really looking at, and also up into Garland County. Very strong thunderstorm. It's right over Lake Ouachita now, and it'll be moving into the western part of Hot Springs Village.
Perry
and
County is now under a tornado warning.
Tornado warning for Perry County, and we figured that would probably be the case, and it is this storm right here that we are concerned with as it moves right along the area between Yell County rather, and Perry County. And it is moving right towards you if you're in Casa or areas near Berta, just to the west there on Highway 10. and at how many miles per hour
This
now?
one says, according to this, it's moving at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, so a little slower. Casa, Wilson, Atkins, Blackwell, Kenwood, and Morrilton, and so we're starting to see some of the counties or the towns in central Arkansas be affected by this storm. But again, it is a tornado warning until 5:30. Tornado warning for Van Buren County?
Van Buren, also for southeastern Searcy County and east central Pope County. Tornado warning has just been issued until 6 o'clock for that storm. And that one, Barry, is the one that has the history of producing tornadoes. We've had a couple of reports of tornadoes, one of which was from an amateur radio operator in that area. But this one is moving towards the northeast at 50 miles per hour, and the radar is indicating a possible tornado 20 miles to the west of Clinton. You see that rotating shear marker right there moving towards the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So let's warn you folks out ahead of this. Take cover if you live in Botkenberg or in Dennard, Leslie, or Alco or Landis. You see these times there. Landis about 5:46, moving to the northeast at a very fast rate of speed. So there's not much time to react. Go to the interior of your home or your business. You don't have anything over your area right now, so you're probably hearing a little bit of thunder, but this is rapidly approaching your area. You're going to experience a lot of wind with this, possible large hail, and some very gusty winds. Heavy rainfall near Rupert. You see we're zooming in on this area. There's all red.
Small communities there that will be affected by this storm, and that's one of most notable, the one that we think may most potentially have the tornado within it, if indeed it does. Again, the western part of Hot Springs Village could be affected by this storm, which is now over eastern Lake Washita and moving on up into the Jessieville area as these storms move just to the northwest of Mountain Pine. And again, they're moving very quickly, and there's the latest live scan that went through. And it is a very dangerous storm as it moves now very near Highway 298, which comes west off of Highway 7 there in Garland County. As we back out a little bit, I want to show you also more low-level rotation possibilities near Amity and northwest Clark County, near Welsh and Bonnerdale, and that's where Hot Spring, Montgomery, and Clark County all come together there, and this storm is moving off to the northeast at 50 miles an hour.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Viper tornado tracking system. That tornado warning that continues for Perry County. We're getting another warning here. We'll get that to you momentarily, but Perry County until for quite a while here, straddling Yale County. But I also want to warn you, if you're watching us from Conway County, there's a small area of Conway County right here, southwest of Morrilton, that this is heading for your area, an extreme southwestern Conway County. What I'll do is I'll put this into a special mode. You can kind of see the core, the worst area of this storm. And this is a tornado warning for Hot Spring County. Tornado warning for Hot Spring County until 5:45. Exactly, what you were looking at a little while ago. What I'm going to do is on the Viper system, I'll go back into this area right here. That's where you were near Amity. That's the one coming out of Clark County.
What they're looking at. So it's just extreme northwestern Clark and northwestern most Hot Spring County, moving into Garland County then eventually.
All right, and let's do a track on this. This one is moving towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour into Hot Spring County, moving to the northeast. This will be in Elma at 5:21, Wayside at about 5:26, and Oma at about 5:31. So it looks like it may stay west of Bismarck, but then again, it will be moving from Hot Spring County into Garland County. Let's put this into motion for you. And as you can see, moving towards the northeast at 50. So Garland County, get ready, and possibly even into the Hot Springs area, the town Hot Springs.
Moving right up Highway 70 there, Todd, and toward Piercy and the Lake Hamilton School District. Through western Hot Spring County, and there's the sign of rotation, which is just on that very northern tip of Clark County, moving through Hot Spring County, and then near Piercy in southwestern Garland County. And if you folks who live along Highway 70 there, you need to be very wary, and you need to take cover with this storm.
There's Highway 70 right there.
Yeah, that is Highway 70, and as it moves toward Hot Springs, through the northwestern part of Hot Spring County. And so that's a real area of concern right there, and there's what Viper Tornado Tracker is showing. And if you just scan on up there a little bit, Todd, and we can just go right up the line, the one in western Perry County as well.
Let me turn off some of these intensities here where we can actually see what's going on here.
Northern Garland County and western Perry County, right.
Right, that one right there. As you can see, that one is moving into, it's right on the border. So if you're watching this from Conway County, extreme southwestern areas, the entire county is going to be put under a warning more than likely here soon. But if you live in this area of the county, you might want to go ahead and just go ahead. Don't wait for a warning. That's kind of crazy to go ahead and wait for something official to come out. Just go ahead and take cover right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Be warned because they're moving very quickly. West of Hot Springs, the entrance to Hot Springs Village there, not far on Highway 7, a storm that does show signs of rotation.
Over
and there
on
you can
the
see
5 live Doppler radars.
Yes, let's go on our 5 live Doppler radars. There's Highway 7 that runs south out of Jesseville into the west entrance of Hot Springs Village. Just to the west of there, just up into the hills from there, and very near the Blakely Dam on Washita, there is just a real high probability of rotation and wind and possibly a tornado along with that storm. And then we go on up the line into the area right around Casa right now, still showing signs of rotation. If you're between Berta and Casa, right along Highway 10, if you live along Highway 10 right there, you need to go ahead and take cover. And we'll continue our tour of the large storms on the radar here on our 5 live Doppler radars, western Van Buren County, and now headed up toward Leslie, which is in southeastern Searcy County. This is an area that you're going to have to watch very closely. This is a storm that has already produced damage, and I believe a confirmed tornado, or a spotted tornado anyway, as it has moved through the Dardanelle area in Pottsville and possibly near the Atkins area in Crow Mountain.
That was reported by the Sheriff's Department near Pottsville and Crow Mountain near Atkins. No injuries were reported with that, but this storm does have a history of producing these tornadoes as well. And now, Barry, zooming into the western ends of Hot Spring County, as that possible tornado is moving up Highway 70 up towards the Percy area, even Royal. You need to be on the lookout. You know, just west of Percy right now, you may be getting some small hail with that storm as well.
Exactly. Yeah, Percy there on Highway 70 between just to the west there, and it's moving very rapidly, and it'll be moving up toward you folks in Royal too, along Highway 270. And again, hail I think is going to be a big threat. Todd makes a great point. These storms are real potential hail producers. The latest attributes on this storm: 33,000 feet tall, still producing 2-inch hail, and there's a lot of moisture. Just a lot of moisture up into these storms and a lot of heat out in front, and there's two bad ingredients for the possibility of tornadoes. Not only thunderstorms, but perhaps tornadoes or thunderstorms that produce tornadoes.
And I remember just a little while ago zooming in on Appleton and Hector in Pope County. Just got a report of a possible funnel cloud up there, so that's in line with what we were looking at. And now that storm is up into, I believe, northern parts of Van Buren County.
Yeah, just northwestern parts right there. Still showing some signs of rotation.
Right.
Let's see what the wind field looks like. Maybe not quite as impressive as it was, but it's still a very dangerous storm. And there's the possibility that shear could be seen within that storm, winds of 103 miles per hour, as just a core of very, very strong wind right there along that line.
And Leslie and Marshall up there in Searcy County, this storm is going to be bearing down on you, especially just to the south east of Marshall up towards the Leslie area. That's when we're going to see the storm, if it holds together, of course, which I don't see why they wouldn't, because they've held together for so long.
We hope they don't, but we fear that they will. Little notch still being seen right there. The upper level winds are so strong that rotation is a definite possibility near all red, and then headed on up toward Leslie a little bit later on. I'll back out. You can see it is approaching the Little Rock area. It's approaching Morrilton and Perry, and approaching Hot Springs especially, both in northern Garland County and now coming into southwestern Garland County. Storms that could be producing tornadoes west of Hot Springs Village there, and now moving very close to Piercy and the Lake Hamilton School District. That area right there along Highway 70, and those are the two areas of concern right there. And then on down into southwestern Arkansas, there still are strong storms and some sign of rotation along with these storms as they head into southern Howard County now, approaching the Nashville area, as we'll begin to just move these, we'll put these into motion here.
And these things, I just looked at a wider radar. These all go all the way down to Dallas, Texas. It's unbelievable, but they're individual, all the way down towards just east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Could we show our weather graphics computer, if we could, just take that real quick and show you the length of this line and how there are just little spots along the line. This is not just a solid line. It's just individual storms that are forming along that line. They look a little more in a squall line as you head down into Texas. Here, they don't look like that. They just look like they're all out by themselves. They kind of take on a life of their own. Sometimes we indicate that these are what we call supercells, because they just kind of take in such a huge area. They have so much energy to work with. They're not being ripped apart by any other competing storm. They just have the atmosphere to themselves, and that's what we're looking at right there. The front itself back into Oklahoma. The line of storms, though, that is forming here is well out in advance, and that's what we're seeing here. The wind flow up above the state, absolutely ideal for not only thunderstorms, but tornado-producing thunderstorms to develop too. North of Clinton on our 5 live Doppler radars, or northwest of Clinton, headed toward Leslie right now, is a line, or is an area that we're really concerned about, because this one has had on a couple of different occasions the possibility of a funnel cloud and also some damage along that line near Pottsville, near Atkins. Leslie at 538, and then headed on up into to the northeast of there at about 552. This is where this storm is going.
I just got some information in, by the way, from the Storm Prediction Center that eastern Arkansas, it's really, no genius here. It's going to be put under a tornado watch here very, very shortly. They're going to issue another tornado watch for eastern Arkansas. So that will go into effect. They're talking about some upper level winds going around, not to get too technical, around the base of the trough, reaching 100 knots right now up above our heads. So that's what's helping cause these to spin up.
It's really not good. We hope that as this storm system emerges out of Oklahoma and Texas, that it will begin to allow these storms to kind of line up. And as they do that, they'll lose some of their intensity. But until then, like Todd said, with the strong winds above, don't count on them doing this. Very near Casa right now, headed into southwestern Conway County. Conway County, I assume that if this storm continues to show signs of rotation, you'll be put under a warning for an area that will cover, southeastern Pope County and southwestern Conway County. Right now, let me look at the wind field inside of this. It still looks like there's a real pronounced area of reds and blues greens coming together right there, and as it moves toward the Arkansas River Valley. And so that is an area that we're really concerned about. Near Casa, now just to the northeast of Casa, because it's moving so rapidly. And then moving into southwestern Garland County, a very strong storm approaching Piercy right now. If you're in that area around Bonnerdale and Piercy, you need to go ahead and take cover right now. This storm continues to show just excellent sign of rotation. And there you can see the rotation right there. Here's the wind field inside of this storm, and it shows the reds and the greens going away and toward the radar site, all in a very, very small area. Let me back out, and I'll be able to show you a little bit better. It's right along Highway 70 there in southwestern Garland County as it moves off to the northeast. And here's the storm track on it, moving off to the northeast at anywhere from 45 to 55 miles an hour, and it would put this storm going right through Piercy, then Hempwallace, Royal, Mountain Pine, and then eventually Hot Springs. Hot Springs, you may not be right on the line, but I'll tell you what, within 20 minutes, it's going to be very near your western areas of Hot Springs. So you folks out there toward Lake Washita, up near the dam on Lake Hamilton, west and southwest of the city, you need to really pay attention to this storm. And then Mountain Valley on up Highway 7 at 555, Fountain Lake at 556 tonight.
And the presentation of that storm I'm looking at here on our Viper tornado tracking system, switching over there to that. The presentation of this is pretty incredible near the Percy area. We're picking up winds. This is in a special mode to pinpoint the worst part of the storm, possibly near 100 miles per hour. Here's Percy right here. And this, again, is Highway 70. Here's Hot Springs. And, again, I've got it in a special mode where you can see the worst part of the storm. And you can see it's moving towards the northeast at a pretty good rate of speed at about 50 to 55 miles per hour.
So you folks in Piercy, then you need to take cover with this. It may not be a tornado producer. I wouldn't count on that, though. It could be a damage producer, and it is moving right up the highway there.
Right.
And it is still showing signs of a low-level rotation, winds varying with height, winds coming from a different direction as you go up and up into the storm. And here's this storm as we look at it on our 5 live Doppler radars. And it is right over the area that is taking it into southwestern Garland County. This looks to be the worst storm. it is obviously a notch there that it is drawing around a strong rotation center. It's drawing some dry air in.
Conway County and southeastern Polk County tornado warning.
There we go. Southeastern Perry County.
South.
No, I'm sorry.
Conway County and Pope County.
Okay, here we go.
Till 6:15. That's a brand new warning that's just now coming down.
And it is for this storm, and we said in Conway County, this is not a surprise to you, really. We said it a few minutes ago that you would be under a tornado warning on our 5 live Doppler radar, showing that storm moving right into that extreme southwestern part of Conway County, and you're approaching the Arkansas River Valley there, and a lot of farmland coming up on Petit Jean Mountain and that area right there. So if you're atop Petit Jean Mountain right now, you need to take cover as this storm moves very close to the highway there, which runs along the top of Petit Jean Mountain. And
moving northeast, by the way, at 55. So they're maintaining that incredible pace.
Moving right, it'll move right atop Petit Jean Mountain, it appears. Let me put a storm track on that. And there's the most likely area that would be producing a tornado. And at 55 miles an hour, it goes through Wilson, Blackwell, Kenwood, Hattieville, rather, Overcup, and St. Vincent. These are smaller areas, smaller communities, generally, that we're talking about here. But just moving into to areas where there's a real population center, through Morrilton, through Blackwell up there. And there you can see the low-level locks that are occurring with this storm. Also, I want to go back to the storm in southwestern Garland County. It continues to be very impressive, and again, impressive in a bad way, as the rotation still looks very, very pronounced, and it moves very, very quickly off to the northeast. The latest attributes to this storm include a mesocyclone, or a rotating storm, at 26,000 feet tall, 1-inch hail there as it moves on off to the northeast. And you folks in Royal, I want you to be very wary of this. Anywhere in that Lake Hamilton School District to the southwest of Hot Springs, you need to take cover. Go ahead and go to the lowest part of your house, lowest floor, most interior part of your house. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people survive direct hits to their house by not getting on an outside wall or window, but actually going into a hallway or a closet, a bathroom that doesn't have any exterior walls on it, and the top of the house will be taken off, the outside walls will be taken off, and there's that one small room, or maybe a couple of small rooms in the middle of the house that are still there, and they are survivable. Smaller tornadoes especially are very survivable, folks, and so let's try to do that, and we'll try to keep you just updated as well as we can on these storms as they move just to the west. It looks like at the Hot Springs area, but you folks in Hot Springs keep a wary eye too for this storm.
Yeah, moving towards the northeast there at 55 as well. And I've been watching this one storm, Barry, on the Viper coming out of Garland County, and is pretty much just skirting the extreme northwestern tip of Saline County, south of Hollis here. Shows some signs that was there a tornado warning on this particular cell? I believe there was earlier.
Yes,
there was. South of Hollis.
Well, if there's not, there should be.
Anything going up is rotating this afternoon, and you can see here's the worst part of the storm, edging into western areas, northwestern areas of Saline County, moving into southern areas of Perry County, and this kind of tells you the story right here. I'm in the special mode here where it pinpoints the worst of the storm in each area here. That shows you where the individual cells are and where the possible rotation is. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to rotate this around, and you can see all these individual areas where we have possible rotation. Individual supercells moving to the northeast, while moving northeast at about 55, while the entire line slowly edges towards central Arkansas. But this one here, in southern parts of Perry County, may graze the county line with Saline County. And then there's that one towards Piercy, moving up towards Hot Springs on Highway 70. Then you see all these down here in southwestern Arkansas, where we don't have tornado warnings, I believe, in effect right now. But still take cover.
Right.
Please take cover.
Let's go back to our 5 live Doppler radar. Todd was highlighting southeastern or southern, really, Perry County, and it may just nip northwestern Saline County as it heads toward
Saline County is
Perryville.
Under tornado warning.
Okay, Saline County is under the warning, but it wouldn't be for all of Saline County. It would be just for that northwestern part.
Extreme northwestern tip.
Extreme northwestern tip. There we go. We can pinpoint it just a little bit better. We don't want to panic folks in Bryant and Benton at this point, because the storm is well up to the northwest of you, and Hot Springs Village, it's going to be just to the north of you too that the worst of this storm is going to go. You can see you're right there. This storm is there, moving off to the northeast. But there are other storms down to your southwest, and so we say don't let your guard down on this. All the way from Morrilton, where southwest of you there is rotation, to Perry County, northwestern Saline County, and then on down into Garland County. And this storm continues to just look like it is wrapping rotation or wrapping rain around a center of rotation as it approaches Royal. If you're in that area around Royal or Highway 227 that runs between 70 and 270 there, you need to go ahead and take cover right now. It appears Hot Springs, it is going west of you as the movement has been just a little bit north and northeast perhaps, but it is moving just to the north of you for right now. But down the line, this whole line moves off to the east, and so don't take for granted that absolutely it will move out of your area. I say if you're in western Hot Springs, I say you need to keep a very wary eye of this storm. It is moving very rapidly. And here is the latest storm track on it. If we go from just where that notch is, where the inflow is being pulled around here, it will take it to Spillway Landing, Mountain Pine, Mountain Valley, Fountain Lake, all the small communities to the west and to the northwest of Hot Springs proper there in Garland County. The storms continue.
This is a severe thunderstorm warning, by the way,
there we go, for
Washington
This is
County.
Washington County, well up into northwest Arkansas, and that's probably along the front, back behind this line. Yeah, in fact, it would be. That would be for Fayetteville, but it's a severe thunderstorm warning. And there you can see, in all likelihood, the front itself is back here, and the line out in advance of it is really the ones that is much worse than that. Let's go back up into Van Buren County, if we could, real quick, while we're here. And I want to say that near Leslie and Marshall right now is a storm that is potentially rotating in the hills there of northern Arkansas, and you need to take cover with this storm as well. Doesn't look maybe quite as impressive as the others, but in this atmosphere, don't worry about that. Just know that you're under a tornado warning, and you need to be warned, and you need to take cover if you're in that area from Marshall to Leslie.
And the Viper here is showing you remarkably here what's going on with these three cells, the one in extreme northwestern Saline County and Perry County, and the one that we've been really watching. This really shows you a great perspective of where the worst part of the storm, where the possible rotation is, moving up Highway 70, and like you were saying, possibly just to the west of Hot Springs this may move. But you can see here, right there, that's the airport. And I'm going to put this into motion, and you can kind of see this coming up the highway and see the direction that this is staying just to the west of Hot Springs, but there's more cells behind that, so you can't let your guard down if you're watching this from down there. But it looks like particularly in this area just to the west of town, take your tornado precautions right now. What I'll do is I'll get the latest image here and rotate this around, and you can see the rotation that the Doppler radar is seeing right now. This is all Doppler radar indicated tornadoes, and this is moving towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour, so Mountain Pine, take those tornado precautions right now.
All right, and as Todd said, the western part of, or southern part of Garland County there, west of Hot Springs, it looks like it's going to move just into the western part, kind of the headwater there at Lake Hamilton, where the river comes down out of the dam off of Lake Washita there, and it heads into that kind of the narrow gaps of Lake Hamilton. It'll be moving across that area very near Royal. Piercy, it looks like it's maybe just past you. It's moving very rapidly right now. And we want to show you elsewhere what's going on. This looks like maybe the worst storm along the line, but I wouldn't say it's definitely the only storm along the line. There's one way down in southwest Arkansas to the east of Ashdown, west of Hope, moving into the vicinity of Nashville. Looks like some storm probably producing hail coming up on Nashville right now. And as we zoom back out, here's the latest picture from that storm that is just touching extreme northwest Saline County and now moving straight at Perryville. Moving straight at Perryville at a very rapid pace. It does show signs of rotation still, as all of these storms are. And there you can see where the two areas come together right there, right on the Saline-Perry County line would be the area that if there's a tornado, that's where it would be. It would be very, very close to that. We continue to get warnings that are coming in here. We continue to see that all of these storms, or most of these storms, have the potential to produce tornadoes as they move into this area through Van Buren County, western Van Buren County, and now into Searcy County as well. Signs of rotation there. It is west of Clinton still, but it is moving in an area very near Leslie. Here's a severe thunderstorm warning.
It's for Montgomery County until 6 o'clock.
Okay, not a tornado warning, but it's for this storm that is extreme southeastern Montgomery County, an area that's already been hit and has sustained damage near Kirby, I believe. But then as Highway 70 extends on down from Piercy down to Glenwood, this is a storm that is so capable of producing hail and strong winds, that not a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning has been placed into effect for it. I really want to concentrate on this storm as it moves kind of just to the near the dam on Lake Washita there. It moves off to the northeast at a very rapid pace, and it continues to show an excellent sign of rotation, Todd, as it moves off to the northeast at 50 miles an hour, probably moving just to the west of Hot Springs.
And
that's good news for Hot
County.
Springs, but it's not so good for places like Mountain Pine and Mountain Valley, the western tip of Hot Springs Village, and eventually on up to Hot Springs Village itself. You folks be aware that this is a storm that will probably affect you. The other went just to the west of you. It's now up to your north. This one is a storm that eventually could affect you.
And on the Viper, this storm, again, will be eventually moving into Saline County. There is that tornado warning in effect there, but that's just for the extreme northwestern tip. I'm more concerned about Perry County with that warning, and Perryville. You need to take those tornado precautions right now. But this storm down here, we've been analyzing just west of Hot Springs. It will eventually move into the northern half of Saline County. So if you're watching us from there, and I'm going to go ahead and say western Pulaski County, because these things are holding together so well all afternoon long, and the line continues. So right behind that will be another one, and then another one, until this finally gets out of here. It appears, though, the severe threat is diminishing towards the west a little bit. We still have the front to go through, a warning in effect for Washington County, but it looks like the worst of the weather is with this line that will be moving through central Arkansas. And again, tornado warnings are continuing. We're all on this line. I'm going to rotate this around just to show you the incredible amount of rotation that we have in this line of thunderstorms, and I'll even turn off some of the intensities here with the rainfall, and you can kind of get a perspective of all these shear markers, is what we call them, where we have possible rotation, tornadoes that Doppler radar is indicating all along this line. They keep forming, and then moving towards the northeast. We'll even zoom into this area that we've been analyzing here in Hot Springs County.
That's an excellent. We just removed all the radar images off there because it's really irrelevant where the radar image is now. We know it's going to rain hard, and we know that there's going to be hail involved with these storms as well. But we want to know the ones that are going to be rotating. Those are obviously the ones that we're scared of. We want to give you as much advance warning as is possible as these storms come up. We don't want it to be a surprise. Let's go back to our 5 live Doppler radars, give you a little perspective. Little Rock, you're still in advance of this line. Conway, you're still in advance of the line. Hot Springs, you're not very far in advance of this line as it continues to move off to the east. Now, individual storms are moving off to the northeast. And I'm just going to go right down the line. Wherever I see a shear marker here, I'm going to go to it. Near Leslie, potential for rotation there, between Gilbert and Marshall on up to the north as well. To the west of Clinton in western Van Buren County, there's a potential for rotation there too.
And this is, just to let you know, a new warning, Hempstead County severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay. There are other storms then that the worst of the batch, maybe coming into Perry County, headed toward Perryville, and moving very near Petit Jean Mountain right now. Atop Petit Jean Mountain, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get reports of funnel clouds from there, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get a touchdown of some sort of a tornado along that area. If you live in the small communities that surround Petit Jean Mountain, or are on up into the shadow of Petit Jean Mountain, on up to Perryville and Perry, up to the northeast of there, you need to take cover within the next few minutes. If you're atop Petit Jean Mountain, I'd say right now you go ahead and take cover. And then the storm right south of there, it's on down into Garland County, but it will be moving toward Hot Springs Village. And there it is right there near Royal, but and it's the tail end of these storms that we're most concerned with. It is moving very rapidly off to the northeast. And let me just back out a little bit, and I want to get a little bit of perspective there as it moves on the west side of Hot Springs. It moves over Lake Hamilton, this storm that possibly is producing a tornado. And I want to put a storm track on that as it moves off to the northeast at a very, very rapid rate. It would be at Hot Springs Village at 5:58, Jesseville 5:56, Blue Springs at 5:54, and there along Highway 7 at Fountain Lake and Mountain Valley at 5:53 and 5:54. That is not very long from now. It's 10 minutes away. Storm is moving very quickly. You don't want to wait till the last minute. And so I say go ahead and take cover if you're maybe in a cabin along Lake Hamilton right now, up toward the headwater of that. You know, some people may be down there for the long holiday weekend. Not a great lake time of the year. That would be a very populated area if it was a warmer time of the year. But I imagine it's pretty populated even now. Those are the two worst storms I see. southern Perry County, and just to the west of Hot Springs there.
Showing incredible rotation. Also want to update you on what's going on in northern Arkansas, where this is a cell. If we go to the Viper tornado tracking system in Searcy County, that tornado warning continues, but we've been tracking this. If you're watching us from Leslie, that town, we're seeing some indications of some possible rotation in that area. You continue under that tornado warning. You can see the worst area of the storm just to the west of Leslie. Putting this into motion, you'll see this coming up from the southwest to the northeast. So between Marshall and Leslie, that's the possibility of seeing this tornado. It's Doppler radar indicated right now, but going even further towards the north, and I'll zoom back out here and get the latest image for you, but even up into extreme southern Marion County, southern Baxter County, and western Stone County, even though you're not under a warning at this time, this is moving in your general direction. And I'll go ahead and do a track on this cell right here, moving towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour, and not coming up with any towns right there, but you can see there's Big Flat, Leslie, and Harriet. These towns here, if you live anywhere close to these areas or in these towns, go ahead and take those tornado precautions. But I just want to give you guys the heads up in Marion, Baxter, and Stone County, right there, kind of where these counties, and Searcy County as well, where these counties all come together. It looks like in this area we have the possibility of seeing tornadoes, and this is the same thunderstorm activity that moved through Russellville and Dardanelle, where we had some Doppler radar indicated tornadoes there as well, and those turned out to be funnel clouds and even a possible touchdown. The sheriff's office there in Polk County telling us of a possible touchdown between Pottsville and Crow Mountain near Atkins, and we don't have any reports of injuries. And just looking up here in our newsroom, and we've got a lot of people working this right now, and just to let you know, we're getting the very latest information for you. But as this line slowly, I'll go ahead and go down this line all the way through Van Buren County. There's that one near Morrilton, by the way. We've been looking at that, and the possible rotation near Blackwell.
Yeah, just along the interstate there, just to the west of Morrilton.
Right, that's another possible rotation there, another possible tornado. So if you live in this vicinity, especially in the Blackwell community, near Morrilton to Blackwell, up towards Atkins, especially Blackwell, take those tornado precautions right now and putting that into motion. I've got it in that mode where you can see the worst part of the storm, and you can see this is going right towards the Blackwell area. This is Interstate 40, so it's just about ready to cross the interstate, Barry.
Yeah, it's a very strong storm. Even stronger than that, let's go right back on our 5 live Doppler radars to just west of Hot Springs. This is Garland County we're looking at. There's Mountain Pine, Mountain Valley, pardon me, and this is the area that is wrapping moisture or rainfall around and hail around a rotation center. It's moving right up on you, Mountain Valley, and to the west end of Hot Springs Village there, the Garland County part of Hot Springs Village. And eventually it will move across into Saline County too. But if you're in that area, just go ahead and take cover right now. Storm is moving so quickly. The upper level winds are so strong that it'd be silly to say, well, you know, maybe it won't hit my area. If you're in that area, you need to take cover. Hot Springs, it's just to the northwest of you. It's not coming through your city. It is moving just to the northwest of there.
There have been so many storms, so I hope I'm not getting the wrong ones confused here, but this is the one that went through Pike County earlier, I believe.
Yes, it did.
And we just got a report here from the emergency manager in Pike County that this storm you're tracking right now had a possible tornado, and there was damage in that county to house trailers, shops, and sheds, and a chicken house was damaged. So the emergency manager down there in Pike County, 3 miles northeast of Kirby, reporting a possible tornado earlier from this same storm moving through that area.
You know, Todd, if it's not a tornado, it's strong wind that these storms can put out, and it is moving into an area now. Although this storm has missed Hot Springs, it is moving into an area that is very populated up along Highway 7 through Mountain Valley, and then through Hot Springs Village, where tens of thousands of people live. And if you're in Hot Springs Village, especially the western part of it, I'm just going to zoom in on this area real quick here, folks. In this approaching storm, you're getting the heavy rainfall, the western part of the village right there. But the area that is of concern is toward the tail end of the storm, and passing through Mountain Pine, through the hills there, and then moving through Mountain Valley. Reported damage in Glenwood, trees down. Damage at Brady Mountain Resort, damage at one of the boat docks, and trees down on Highway 70 west of Hot Springs, the trees down. It's corresponding exactly to where we've shown the possible rotation and possible tornadoes with this storm.
And a new tornado warning has just been issued for Garland and Saline County. This is in effect until 6:30. The Weather Service is now indicating this one is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour and is 5 miles southwest of Crystal Springs. So they got a tornado warning on it.
That's the one we've just been talking about.
Right.
No surprise. And it is moving, as we said, at a very rapid pace at up to 50 miles an hour. It'll take it right through the heart of Hot Springs Village at 6 o'clock. We've been looking at this area for quite some time, and coming up on 6 o'clock or right around that time, Jessieville and Blue Springs, Mountain Valley, some of those smaller communities there. And then Perrin on up into northwestern Saline County, affected by this too. And there, as this storm moves off to the northeast. Benton and Brandt, this storm won't be affecting you. It'll be to the northwest of you. The other one that I really want to look at, and we've not talked about in just a little while, is a storm that is very, very likely producing hail and wind, if not a tornado, and it's coming up now on the Perryville area. It is very near Petit Mountain, and it's showing that strong sign of rotation. Here's what we call the radial velocity, or just the winds going around the storm, and it shows, okay, we've taken a little bit of hit there to power. All right, it came back. That's good.
Trees down, by the way, between Percy and Royal.
Okay, yeah, right there between Percy and Royal, where we showed those strong signs. There it is. It's approaching Perryville right now. If you're in that area, you need to go ahead and take cover. In the northern part, northeastern part, central and northeastern part of Perry County. And Perry County also reporting no reports now of any damage, but
there's some strong rotation that's being indicated there by the Doppler radar coming up on the Perryville area, and boy, that's an impressive signature on the Doppler when you see that that hook like that. So if I were you in Perry and in Perryville, I would be taking some cover right now.
Okay, we're continuing to get power hits here, and I don't know if there's a disruption in the power grid around. Some of our computers have gone down. Our 5 Live Doppler's computer has not gone down though, and that is good because we want to be able to show you exactly what we're looking at here. But even if it does go down, folks, we will be on the air and we'll let you know exactly where these storms are. You can keep the TV turned up and we'll show you exactly what's happening. If you're in that area just to the right around Perryville and coming down off the mountain from Petit Mountain there, also up into North Arkansas, some strong thunderstorms going on near Leslie, near Marshall right now, in the Buffalo River Valley up there, into the western part of Clinton. Maybe not looking quite as impressive as the ones around Hot Springs and the ones around Hot Springs Village, but still very impressive, and you are under tornado warnings. This whole storm system is approaching the Little Rock area. It's not here yet. It's approaching Morrilton as well. The strongest storms within this area are to the west of Morrilton, near Blackwell, right on the interstate now, and coming up on Hattieville. If you're in that area, you need to go ahead and take cover. And also, as we head into Perry County, and Perry County, I'm thinking is under a tornado warning. Right. Yes, it is.
And by the way, just want to let you know we've been following those severe thunderstorms north central Arkansas. A severe thunderstorm warning for Baxter, Marion, and Searcy County until 6:45. Even though it is a severe thunderstorm warning, I would take cover if I were you right now because there have been a history of tornadoes with those.
Absolutely, exactly, and they have the potential still. Right now, they don't look as impressive as they used to. Right. And you need to be on the lookout, you folks in Van Buren, Searcy, up to Baxter County and southeastern Marion County, for just strong straight line winds. In central Arkansas, though, they continue to look very impressive, especially heading toward the western end of Hot Springs Village, very near Mountain Valley right now. Strong sign of rotation there. And hail is a likelihood, and if you live in the village, you need to go into a basement if you have it. You need to go into the lowest floor of your home, out into a central area of your home, and it's going to be quickly by. You're not going to have to spend an hour there. You're not going to have to spend 2 hours there. You're going to have to spend a little while, and then it's quickly going to be by your area, the worst threat of this storm, as it moves very quickly off to the northeast. And then that area to the west of Morrilton that we were just showing you, and I want to go south to near Perry right now, because that storm, Todd, continues to wrap moisture around it, wrap rainfall around it, in a near complete circle. Yeah. It's not just a hook, it's going almost around and touching. So you know that there's rotation in the storm.
Okay, and yeah, it does appear that that's a very impressive radar signature. I would be shocked if there was not a tornado coming out of that. But if you're living near the Morrilton area between Perryville and Morrilton, now's the time to take those tornado precautions right now. Just to go over what we've got going on here as we look at our 5 live Doppler radars, there's reported damage and trees down with many of these storms in Pike County. Damage at Brady Mountain Resort, damage at one of the boat docks there, trees down, Highway 70 west of Hot Springs, trees down. And, you know, this is damage that's already happened, but I'm telling you this because as these storms move into your area, I just want to let you know what these storms have the potential of doing. So you need to take your tornado precautions at this time if you're under one of those warnings. Those warnings are for Garland County, for the northern areas of Saline County, especially the northern areas, extreme northern tip there, Perry County, on up into Conway County, Van Buren County, and Polk County. Those are the counties that are under tornado warnings.
Okay, we're getting some information
here.
that there's power surges that are being felt even in the Little Rock area, so obviously a disruption of the power grid of some sort.
And they're not even here in Little Rock just yet.
Yeah, that's right. But in the Heights area of Little Rock, we're getting reports that is happening, and probably in other metropolitan cities around central Arkansas, too. We haven't lost power here, and even if we do lose power here at the station, our generator will kick in, and we will not be off the air. And so you can keep it right here in that event.
One other threat with these storms will be a tremendous amount of lightning, I'm sure. So what I would do if I were you, even though you got the surge protector, I'd unplug your home computer right now here in Central Arkansas,
hurt, yeah.
Just to be on the safe side.
Exactly. We're going to give you more up-to-date information than any computer, any service is going to give you. We're going to have more up-to-date information because of our live radar scan here. To the north of Hot Springs, nearing the western edge of the village right now, the potential for rotation there. It is not a sure thing, but let's not take any chances. Go ahead and take cover if you're around Mountain Valley and Hot Springs Village, Jesseville right now. You can go ahead and take cover with that storm, and also to that area very near Perryville right now, and maybe just to the northwest of Perryville and to the northwest of Morrilton. And I do want to go in on this storm west of Perryville. Strong rotation still being seen near Adona and to the west of Perry, and moving up toward the Morrilton area right now, right through the valley, into the Arkansas River Valley right there.
And also, just to let you know, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Miller County in southwestern Arkansas, but we want to keep our focus attention here in the central areas of the state. Like Barry's been showing you here with the radar motion, you see that hook, Adona up towards Perry, moving up towards Morrilton. There it is right there. That's where we're seeing the rotation. That rotating red circle, that's where the Doppler radar is indicating the possible rotation with that thunderstorm. Tornado warnings continue for Perry County into southern Conway County. Barry, it looks like that may stay just a little south of Morrilton, right?
Yeah, it is. It is right now, but it is moving off to the northeast, and so Morrilton, I would say this is the time to kind of finalize. You know exactly where in your mind you're going to go in your house. Don't wait around. It's moving very quickly, and you can imagine a car going by your house at 50 miles an hour wouldn't be there very long, would it? Well, that's exactly what these storms are moving. 50 to 55 miles an hour, and so your approach time is going to be, even if you can see the storm, which would be doubtful. They're probably so rain-wrapped and so it's shrouded in rainfall, it'd be very difficult to distinguish it in most instances. Even if you had lead time, though, it wouldn't be much of a lead time. And let me tell you, our warnings are going to be minutes in advance rather than maybe the few seconds in advance if you're just looking out your window. And so keep that in mind. In Garland County, this is the storm that is moving now through the western part of Hot Springs Village. It is going to be moving into northwestern Saline County, and you will need to take cover if you're going to be in that area.
Also, we have a new tornado warning that's in effect for Clark and Pike County in southwest Arkansas. That is a tornado that has been radar indicated 6 miles southeast of Murfreesboro, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So again, a new tornado warning for Clark and Pike County. There, Barry is indicating where we have that possible hook echo there. And if you're watching us from Clark and Pike, sorry about that, from Clark and Pike County, especially near the Murfreesboro, and possibly even up towards Arkadelphia, especially north of there. If we can go to the Viper, and I'll kind of put this into motion for you, we'll go on over to the Viper. And you can see this is the possible tornado here moving into Clark County out of Pike County. So we're going to have to be on the lookout for Arkadelphia. Right now you're seeing some moderate rainfall, but that's not what we're dealing with. It's with this area right here moving up towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Let me get the latest image and we'll put a track on this for you. Moving northeast again at about 50 miles per hour. So this is heading up into Clark County north of Arkadelphia.
We apologize for breaking into programming, folks. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Believe me, we don't want to be sitting here for a long time talking about things, and we wouldn't be here and covering up other programming if we didn't think it was a very dangerous situation. And it is a dangerous situation, and there have been a number of reports of downed trees and power lines so far, some roofs being stripped off of chicken houses, which are very numerous and contain a large number of chickens in western Arkansas, also some mobile home damage. And so we're going to stick with it as long as we think that there is a genuine threat for tornadoes. And we believe wholeheartedly that there is within, especially these couple of storms that are moving in just to the west of the Little Rock area, near Perryville right now, northern Perry County, moving into the western part of Hot Springs Village in northern Garland County, very near Jessieville too, and Todd also up into Conway County, and that's to the northwest of Morrilton. And again, we're under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock, or until 10 o'clock in the western half of the state, but it is very likely that the rest of the state, northeast and probably southeast too, will be placed into a tornado watch that will be into effect until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And then the threat should end. In western Arkansas, the threat is really over. You're talking about places like Mena, and the cold front has yet to go through. There may be some strong thunderstorms, but I think the severe weather threat is minimal there compared to the line of storms now moving into north central and into central Arkansas too. I want to keep you updated exactly where these storms are, so let's go back to our 5 live Doppler radars and show you the ones that are continuing and have been for a long time to show signs of rotation. There it is in the western part of Hot Springs Village, the Garland County part of it.
And some hail possible as well towards Jessieville. You see that very black and white radar signature. And where you have large hail, a lot of times you have strong updrafts and downdrafts, and there's that possible tornado there by the Doppler. And moving into northern Saline County, and you again are under that tornado warning. So go ahead and move you and your family to a safe spot. If you are watching us right now from a mobile home, in the northern half there, especially the northwestern quarter of Saline County, I would abandon that mobile home at this time and seek shelter. A sturdy structure right now, maybe at a friend's house. You can kind of see where Barry is outlining that area in northern Saline County. Now is the time to get out while this is just a couple of miles west of the county line. But you don't have much time because they continue to move to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour.
The other ones we're looking at now approaching Morrilton, coming out of Perry County. Still very near Apollo now, which is just down off the mountain from Pettigene Mountain there, and approaching the southern side of Morrilton even as we speak. It'll be moving through that area. It still shows signs of low-level rotation. Morrilton, you need to go ahead and take cover right now with this storm. Whether or not it is producing a tornado, and it looks likely that it could be, so again, we haven't had any confirmation of this, but radar indications are oftentimes the best way because these are so shrouded in rainfall. And so if you're in that area, you need to go ahead and take cover right now.
We have reports, by the way, Barry, of funnel clouds moving northeast near the community of Sunshine in Garland County. There's a report of a funnel cloud. That is being reported by the Fire Department Rescue Unit there of funnel cloud near the community of Sunshine in Garland County. That was moments ago.
All right, tornado warning until 6:45 now. New tornado warning for Conway and Van Buren County. And at 5:59, our Doppler radar indicated a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado from 12 miles northwest of Clinton to 3 miles east of Jerusalem. Okay, this is on up the road just a little bit. So Conway and Van Buren County, the northern part of it. There we are, right there. And it's for the area there on the leading edge of that is and moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. That's right on top of Leslie right now, and moving up into the hills, the mountains of eastern Van Buren County, and it will eventually move up into Stone County too, which is just down from there. So rotation enough that the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning until 6:45 for that area. And this is the area again. It's northern Van Buren County and southeastern Searcy County, moving over into Stone County too. And Oxley, north of Botkenburg there along Highway 65, this storm is moving along. Let's back out here, and I want to show you that the line, again, is approaching the Little Rock area, and Benton and Bryant as well. And there are individual storms that are still kind of standing out among, away from the line, and one of those notably is the one that is over Western Hot Springs Village right now, moving very rapidly. You can see our latest scan there just went around, and now moving into Saline County, where I think the worst of this storm is likely to be. I want to back out, and I'll show you a storm track on this. Moving 55 miles an hour off to the northeast. So Williams Junction and Thornburg and Perryville, Y, and then Pleasant Valley on up at 637 will be affected by this storm. Not quite into Pulaski County yet, but I think